How has James changed the punt return game for you?
James has done a good job the last couple weeks that he's been here, and I liked him when he was coming out of school. I thought he did a good job when he was in Baltimore. Very good judgment, good hands, smart kid, very hard worker, detailed, and is a guy that is going to get downhill.
When
Hey, by the way, you jinxed me. You jinxed us on the penalties. You jinxed us. You jinxed us. We'll be cleaner this week.
when Andrew decides to go after a guy for his practice squad and you know him, does he come to you? Contribute to that?
Yeah, they'll tell me what they're thinking, or guys that we could possibly bring in. So yeah, they've asked me about a handful of players. That was a guy that we had talked about. Yep.
Is that someone that can return some kicks for you guys?
He has done some of that for us, and we're always looking at the guys on the roster that can do more. So felt like that's a thing that we can look at, moving ahead.
Returners, is it sometimes just innate skills? Is it just that some guys get it and others, struggle to kind of figure out the nuance to being a good returner?
Yeah, there's a lot of, when it comes to punt return versus kick return, you don't see as many guys that are able to track, judge the ball, have the hands to be able to catch a punt. It's not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of variation on it when the ball's coming off the foot. So there's really only a handful of those guys on each team that can do it. Fortunately, we have a good one right now.
James sort of compared it to playing center field in baseball. Would that be an apt comparison in terms of fielding punts?
Sure, I think so. When he first came here, the first day that we went out and caught balls off the live foot, he had mentioned that he had played baseball a lot, and that helped him with his ability to track and judge the ball. So, yeah, I think that there's definitely some similarities there.
What about the tradition of
I don't know anything, but it seems like Mike Ford is really good at covering this.
Mike Ford? Yeah, Mike Ford he's a good coverage player for us. He's the thing about Mike is he's relentless. He's obviously has really good speed, and he's tough. And when you have those traits at the positions that he plays for us, you're going to have production, and he's done a good job. And he would have even more, like he's missed a couple. He missed one at Pittsburgh. He's been close on a few others. He'd be really at the top of the league, honestly. And he's been a disruptive player for us, and excited that we have him.
What about the tradition of the Baltimore Ravens special teams and just how good they always are, and what challenges does that present for you this week?
Yeah, I mean, since I was a player here, Coach Harbaugh had been the coach, and obviously he has a special teams background, so they take, a lot of pride in their units. They're really at the top of the league, near the top of the league every single year. They put a lot of time and effort into how they practice and how they prepare. I saw that firsthand in a joint practice whenever I was in San Francisco against them. They practice hard. They've spent a lot of time on it each day. I've heard that from a number of players throughout the league, and it shows up consistently. And they've had good specialists over the last however many years. Obviously, they have an elite kicker, one of the best, if not the best ever, to do it.
Those penalties you meant.
The idea that the idea that they have been so consistent for so long, whether it was under Jerry Oscar or now under Coach Holden. Look at a special teams unit that is as consistent as Baltimore is. Are there commonalities that you point to? You're like, hey, if we want to be one of the elite special teams units in the league, we need to follow this kind of formula that they seem to have done well.
Yeah, I think that the groups that have had consistent success over the last however many years, you look at the foundation of the unit, right? It starts with footwork, the basic fundamentals of blocking, protection, all of those things factor into that. You see teams like Baltimore, New England, you know, I'm hoping that I can take, like, I feel like I've taken on those types of things with my units where you just turn on the film and you're like, oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it in the fundamentals and the footwork and the technique and just understanding how to really play the game. Being able to use your hands, defeat blocks, set up your avoids, things like that. So, you know, those guys have done a really good job in Baltimore since Coach Harbaugh's been there. And yeah, just hoping we can show up on Sunday. And then back to your penalty question.
Yeah, well, I think you have said in the past that happens when you're out of position. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think we just got to do a better job playing a little bit more, I would say, poised down the field in our technique and, you know, understanding how to execute a little bit better. A couple young guys had just some mishaps that we're gonna get cleaned up. It was addressed on Monday, so we're gonna get those cleaned up this week.
73-yard net, is that the best you've been part of?
Yeah, and I had asked him what his career long was. And I think his career long is 82 for his, like, as far as a gross. No pun intended, Tony. But yeah, no, it was a great play in the game. Flipped the field. Corey's been a weapon for us. We've covered pretty good on that unit as well. So excited that, you know, those guys are stepping up when we need them. Appreciate it. Thanks.